na araw at sigurado kung may kanya-kanya
Vitali, you're no longer in Italy.
Kasama ang mga mahal natin sa buhay. Kaya ang mensahe ko ngayon,
I don't know what this guy's saying, but I'm sure it's not very good things. Like, what is this? This is what happens in some mad stuff going on in the Philippines. You know, and this guy is gonna be sleeping head to what the hell? Head to dick. You know, this guy, Italy, Italy Vitali, sorry, Vitali, whatever you call him. You know, you're no longer in Italy or whatever you've been. You should be lucky that you. No, in fact, you are unlucky that you're not in Italy doing this. Like, we've got dangerous criminals here in the UK, some of them are doing years, man. You don't know how many tweets they've been sending, maybe one or two, I don't know, but obviously, those, you don't want to be locked up in the UK with these dangerous criminals, obviously sending tweets, it's not a good thing. Especially, considering we have a free speech country, as we've been told, in front of, I think it was so many people when our so-called PM went to America and spoke to Mr. Trump.
Sa pagmamaneho at habaan ang pasensya. Yung ibang tao din sa paligid, umawat tayo.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So either way, basically, I think that basically Johnny Somali, if he was in Philippines, I think he would have a completely different story. He wouldn't be like bad-mouthing everybody like he still does in Korea. That's not a good thing for him, but that's his own business. I think he used to walk around with that fish to annoy people, but I personally think that he used to walk around with that smelly fish to remind him of when he used to sleep with his mate Hank, so he has to be reminded of his older, whatever you call it. If you did a Johnny Somali, action figure, I wouldn't say action figure, but annoying figure, right? Basically, what would you be? You'd have one box, like an accessory box. You'd have a hat that's the same size of, or maybe a little bit bigger than the actual figure of Johnny Somali, because the hat, every time he puts on, I could just about see what he looks like. And you could have an accessories such as a speaker, a mobile phone, and of course you can have Hank in the accessory box. That would be good for a Johnny Somali accessory box. Basically, obviously, the only words would be like if you pull the string or something like that, $5, or whatever you say, he says, or something like that, or maybe those two words on his full string. But this guy, if he gets locked up, I want to see how many IRL streamers go to Philippines after this. Because in the end of the day, right, this guy, he obviously thinks that, I'm gonna get away. It's just free speech. Not free action, free speech. Free action isn't a thing. Because that's why people get punished for it. I mean, look at this country. They got good stuff, chilling, whatever, and you get idiot streamers going around there whose job is to stream and annoy people. Well, obviously, doesn't always work. Fair dues. You gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta teach the streamers that going around other countries, stressing. That's why they're not in their own countries, because they know they couldn't get away with it without some kind of reparation. Simple as that, But either way, that's what I gotta think about this Vitali.
Pumasok pa rito sa Pilipinas para lang hamakin at gawing katatawanan ang ating mga kababayan. Ngayong darating na mahal na araw, piliin natin ang kapayapaan. Piliin natin ang kaligtasan para sa ating mga sarili.
Certain countries, if you were a thief and you took somebody and you was guilty of it, they chop your hands off. So I think these people just choose certain countries that they think that are easy to get away with, and let's just go and attack. And with my camera, and the guy that's in hiding, his cameraman, your time is, they'll find you eventually. But anyway, that's my little take on Vitali.